El Chapo's wife reveals how he really is. From his dramatic escape from prison to his eventual capture and conviction, El Chapo has captivated the world with his story of power, wealth, and notoriety. But who is the real Joaquin Guzman? Get ready for a rare glimpse into the mind of the infamous drug kingpin as his wife lifts the veil on the man behind the legend in an explosive interview that you do not want to miss.
Pidemos es que lo atiendan y que pues apliquen los derechos humanos con él.
Find out the truth about El Chapo straight from the source here only on our channel. Mysterious man El Chapo? El Chapo is a nickname for Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Loera, who was born on April 4, 1957, and is a notorious drug trafficker. He had a previous position of leadership inside the transnational criminal organization known as the Sinaloa Cartel. Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Loera is his complete name, and he was married to Emma Modesta Coronel Aispuro, who was a former beauty pageant winner in the United States and who competed in the 2007 Coffee and Guava Festival Beauty Contest in Canelas, Durango. It is generally agreed that he was one of the most influential drug traffickers in the history of the planet.
El Chapo has pleaded not guilty to 17 drug trafficking, gun, and money laundering charges. Jerika Duncan is outside the federal courthouse in Brooklyn. Jerika, good morning.
So what brought Emma Coronel and El Chapo together? The fact that she is married to Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who was formerly Mexico's most wanted drug leader and is now serving a life term in jail, has brought her a great deal of notoriety in recent years. She was arrested in the United States in February 2021 and charged with conspiracy to unlawfully import and distribute illegal drugs, money laundering, and conducting business with a significant foreign narcotics trafficker designated as a kingpin under the Kingpin Act.
Emma Coronel Aispuro was arrested yesterday at Dulles International Airport in Virginia. She faces a court hearing today accused of being part of Joaquin Guzman's massive criminal operation.
The allegations against her come from her suspected participation in the distribution of illegal drugs. Coronel was sentenced to 3 years in prison in November of 2021 by the judge who presided over her case. Do Emma Coronel and El Chapo have children? The celebration for Coronel took place on the Day of the Three Kings. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman traveled to Canelas to visit Coronel during this event. It is said that they tied the knot on that day. In the summer of 2011, Coronel gave birth to her twin daughters at the Antelope Valley Hospital in Lancaster, California. Both of her daughters were identical twins. Guzman's name was not included on the birth certificates of his children because, at the time, the United States Department of State was offering a reward of $5 million for information leading to his capture. The birth certificates of Guzman's children were issued before the reward was established. Here is an excerpt from an interview with Emma Coronel. Coronel said she feared for her husband's life and appealed for justice on his behalf in an interview with Telemundo investigative reporter Anabel Hernandez in 2016. She insisted he was in grave danger and gave reasons why. Hernandez took the reins and asked all the questions during the interview.
Pero pues obviamente hay que recordar que esas son personas que les dieron vida, ¿no? Entonces pues ellos van a decir cualquier cosa o...
To witness El Chapo's trial in New York in 2019, she brought her kids along. While her husband was on trial, she attended virtually every day of the proceedings. This was reported by the media as a show of support for him, and in her case, her spouse was the accused. They showed her interview with VH1's Cartel crew.
That's her. She ain't come to play.
Where was Emma Coronel taken into custody? Dulles International Airport was the scene of Coronel's capture on February 22, 2021. The FBI issued an arrest warrant for her, citing probable cause that included evidence of Coronel shuttling messages from Guzman to associates of the Sinaloa Cartel, aiding Guzman's escape from the Federal Social Readaptation Center No. 1, Altiplano, in 2015, through the use of bribery, and helping coordinate another escape attempt that failed following Guzman's extradition. The affidavit cited a handwritten note allegedly written and signed by Guzman, as well as the statements of two unnamed cooperating witnesses who had previously worked with the Guzman. The information that Coronel willingly submitted herself to authorities and was attempting to make a settlement with the court comes from unnamed sources who spoke to Vice News on the condition of anonymity. An attorney named Jeffrey Lichtman, who represents both Guzman and Coronel, has stated that the claims are false. A representative for the FBI likewise declined to comment, as did the Department of Justice and the FBI, both of which stated that they had no comment.
She didn't expect to get arrested after her husband received life in prison.
Mario Colon, the attorney for Coronel, criticized the conditions in which her client was being held in the Alexandria City Jail, claiming that her client was forced to spend 22 hours a day in a cramped cell with nothing to do but read. What exactly was the plot that Emma Coronel was working on? On June 10, 2021, the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia and Coronel Aispuro came to an agreement for a plea bargain. As part of the terms of the deal, Coronel Aispuro gave up her right to be indicted and entered a guilty plea in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia to a felony criminal information that contained 3 counts: conspiracy to distribute heroin, cocaine, marijuana, and amphetamines for the purpose of illegal importation into the United States of America. The second count was conspiracy to launder monetary instruments, also known as money laundering, and the third count was engaging in transactions and dealings in the properties of a designated significant foreign narcotics trafficker. Is there any truth to the rumors that El Chapo is married to Emma Coronel? Even though he wed Emma Coronel Aispuro on her 18th birthday in July 2007, rumors have it that he is still legally married to his first wife, Alejandrina Salazar, a social worker whom he wed in 1977. This is despite the fact that they have 2 children together. The book claims that Joaquin Guzman Loera, commonly known as El Chapo, offered a bribe to a priest in Sinaloa in order to have him officiate the religious ceremony that he and Miss Coronel Aispuro were having. The truth regarding Emma Coronel's relationship with El Chapo, as told by Emma Coronel. Ms. Coronel Aispuro admitted to Hernandez that when the two of them first met, this is despite the fact that she had no idea what he did for a living, and this is despite the fact that El Chapo was one of the most wanted fugitives in the country. She exclaimed and explained, "I didn't really give it that much importance until I started to figure out what was going on with him. But it wasn't until it came out in the news that we had gotten married that I started to figure out what was going on with him." She meant that she didn't start to figure out what was going on with him until the news that they had married broke. According to statements made by Coronel Aispuro, she was born in the United States to her mother, Inez Coronel Barreras, who was a part of the Sinaloa Cartel. She first met Guzman when she was 17 years old, and they wed the following year after their first meeting.
Como yo nací allá, se supuso que era buena idea que también fueran ciudadanas americanas.
In 2017, a court in Mexico convicted her father guilty of weapon charges, and the court sentenced him to prison in that country. Is it possible that Emma Coronel's upbringing contributed to her decision to meet El Chapo and become involved in criminal activity? If so, does this imply that Emma Coronel is placing the blame on her father's parenting, or does this suggest that Emma Coronel is concerned that her twin daughters will become involved in criminal activity? We would like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation to each and every one of you for today. In return, we would be grateful if you could please subscribe to our channel, provide feedback in the comments section below, and let us know what topics you would like us to see discussed in future videos.